Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raha, Hudash. Honors be to the elect elders of the nation of Israel that do labor and teach the truth and sincerity. Shalom to all you Akim, your hopeful elect on the highway and hedges, making your body a living sacrifice according to Romans 12 and verse 1. Shalom to you sincere believers as well, which consist of men and women. Shalom, Brakatham, and as always, Abad Babal. This is our brother Zakar, Aban, coming back with another video. Pretty much want to go back to the fundamentals of making no allegiance with the wicked, all right, which is known as Esau, Edom, the third part of man. So making no allegiance, with the wicked, all right. There's no agreement. There's nothing that you can do for that man, but let him be what he is, which is a devil. All right. So once again, this is the fundamentals, and we're gonna grab that word charmer. We're going to grab some precepts and get a little more into it. I don't want to write to be edifying. It says, charm, the chanting or reciting of a magic spell. Now, the chanting or reciting. Now, when we go into the scriptures, we're going to see that, the men, the servants, the ministers on the highway and hedges, the teachers are likened to what? A charmer. As we bring out the precepts and go through the, the scriptures. The chanting or reciting of a magic spell. Now, pretty much when we go to this word magic, it goes into what, like a power, So let's grab this word for magic real swift. It says the use of means such as charms or spells believed to have supernatural power, Salakia, supernatural power over natural forces. All right. But we understand that, we look at it very clearly. These scriptures, the word, which is Yahweh Shai, is the most powerful. All right. As far as, the truth is very powerful. Okay. It says a practice or expression believed to have magic power. But the chanting or reciting. So I want to deal with this word for reciting. And let's tap it in right here. It says recite, to repeat from memory or read aloud publicly. So when we are reciting, right, we are what, memorizing the scriptures. We're reading it aloud, as it says in the book of Isaiah 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. So once again, we will be likened unto what? Those charmers, because we go out on the highways and the hedges to repeat from memory or read aloud. When we go on the highways and the hedges, what they call street teaching, to relate in full, to repeat. Because we are repeating the scriptures. These are the words of the Most High. Or read aloud something memorized or prepared to reply to a teacher question on a lesson. Okay, so we see that once again, recite. So now let's drop this, and we see now that this is lining up perfectly with charmer, which goes into what? Reciting. And reciting is what? Reading aloud publicly in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. So let's drop this. Now let's go here. Let's go to the book of Sirach 44. Okay. And let's make this clear as far as reciting. So this is Sirach 44. And let's start at verse 3. Sirach 44 verse 3. It says, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned by their power, giving counsel by their understanding, and declaring prophecies. One of the ones that we hear a lot when we first come in Israel, all right, Hebrew 101, the fundamentals is Amos 3 and verse 7. I'm just quoted that surely the Lord will do nothing, but he revealed his secret unto the servants, the prophets. So only a servant, a prophet, can come back and reveal to you the dark sayings, the mysteries of the scriptures. All right. Only the Most High will allow for his servants, his ministers, to be able to go to what? These dark sayings, to declare the prophecies. Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding, and declaring prophecies. Leaders of the people by their counsels, and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people. Wise and eloquent are their instructions, right? Being able to go through what? The scriptures, breaking it down, making it plain upon tables. Matter of fact, let's grab that real quick. That comes to mind. Making it very plain. There's a saying in the world, make it easy. Just, a saying in the word where it said make it easy that a 5-year-old can understand. So making it very clear. This is Habakkuk 2 and verse, go straight to the point, verse 2. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. So our job, right, as ministers, as prophets, is to make it plain. Okay? It said leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning, right? Because the ministers, the servants of the Most High will be what? Very studious. Study to show thyself approved. Learning meet for the people, wise and eloquent are their instructions. Such as found out musical tunes. Like I was saying, the Lord, I'm going to quote it again, Amos 3 and verse 7, about surely the Lord will do nothing but reveal his secret unto the servants, the prophets. Once again, being able to, being very studious. Let me grab that real quick. Let's go here to the book of 2 Timothy 2 and verse 15. It says, such as found out musical tunes. And why is that? Because not everyone had this spirit of wanting to go deeper, or wanting to actually understand what's going on. 2 Timothy 2 and verse 15, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. All right, when we rightly divide the word of truth, that's going line upon line, precept upon precept. Okay, that's how you go through these scriptures. But only the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai will allow for you to do that. So now we're getting to the point. It says, such as found musical tunes. Why? Because these people out of Ratazah, will be of that number, the house of David, the 1/3. Okay, out of Ratazah, we be those people. We be those believers, shall I say. Such I found out musical tunes and recited verses and writing. So now just bringing it all back together, we are those charmers that are reciting these scriptures, making it plain upon tables according to the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2. Right? So we will be those charmers that are, once again, reciting the scriptures. And when you recite, when we got in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it went into what? To pretty much go out there and public speak. That's pretty much what it is. So let's drop this. Now, like I was saying, I just want to make that point as far as being a charmer. So we're going to start in the book of Psalms 58 and verse, start at verse 3. I want to, make this kind of swift. Right. But the point is that I made a point opening up was that we are not to make any allegiance with the wicked. OK, and like I said, this is pretty much fundamentals. It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. There is a certain people that have no truth, no understanding within them. There are certain people that are, just programmed, using a modern day term, to be wicked. Right? And that would be the so-called white man today. I like to call him a lobster. A lobster represents what? Red and unclean. And that sums up the white man, so-called white man, Esau, Edom. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Their poison today will be likened to what? Their philosophy, their democracy. The matter of fact, the whole Western way is poison. The whole way of Babylon the Great, aka America, is all poison. They are like the deaf adder that stop their ear. They're not going to hear you, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. So they're not going to hear. They're not going to hear the reciting of the scriptures. Okay, they're not going to come and agree with what the Most High say. Although they do know, make no mistake about it, because it said that what they are wiser than Daniel. So although Esau Edom knows what righteousness look like, he is not going to do it. It said, will not hearken to the voice of charmers. We know the servants, the teachers, the prophets, charmer never so wisely. So you can recite to them the scriptures all day long, but ultimately they are not going to come and just all of a sudden be, upstanding. That's not going to happen, because that which is made crooked cannot be made straight. So let's drop this. Now let's go to the book of Isaiah 26 and verse 10. It says, let favor, go straight to the point, let favor be showed to the wicked, yet he would not learn righteousness. And how have favor been showed to them? Okay, matter of fact, you know, at one point, they was, give a quick example, they was, America was trying to be, you know, they were trying to establish something as far as trying to follow the Bible at one point. You know, that's one example. But we see how they, you know, little by little, they got more evil and evil to now it's all out max crazy. It's all out, you know, it's to the max of what? Of wickedness, right? So it said, let favor be showed to the wicked, yet he would not learn righteousness. So, you know, they got the scriptures. They understand, you know, what righteousness looked like to the Most High. They know. Esau, Edom, speaking about the elite of the Edomites, right? They understand, you know, certain things as far as the scriptures, because the Most High said that what they are wiser than Daniel. And the land of righteousness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord, of the Yahweh. All right, so they're not going to once again hearken. So pretty much when you try to recite the scriptures, try to tell to them about, you know, righteousness, they're not going to understand, man. They're not going to care about it, right? It's not going to make any difference, you know, to them, because really they have no connection to the Most High. Because they're what? A bastard. A bastard is a fatherless child. The Most High is only dealing with the nation of Israel. Read Joel 2 and 27. Okay, he's only the, you know, the God to the nation of Israel. So let favor be showed to the wicked. Once again, they got our Bible, man. They got the scriptures, but they are not going to do anything. Now, let's drop that. Let's prove it. They're not going to do anything according to the scriptures as far as righteousness. Psalms 50 and verse 16 and also 17. But unto the wicked, the Most High said, why, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? That's a question. Why? Let's see. See, thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee, because they can care less. All right. They hatest instruction. They literally cast the word behind them, meaning what? They pay no attention to it. They don't rehearse it. Okay. They may hear it say, yeah, well, that's what the Most High say, but I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And why is that? As we grab in the book of Psalms 58. Why is that? Psalms 58 says it right here. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. They already astray. They already left field. Okay. They already, you know, programmed, as I said earlier, to be wicked. As soon as they be born, speaking lies. They are liars by nature. They are liars by nature, man. So trying to charm these devils, meaning what? Recite the scriptures to them as far as, you know, what's right and what's not, especially right now. Okay, we don't have that power right now. Them that are going to hear will be the sheep, will be the elect, the house of David. All right, as it says in the book of John 10, my sheep shall hear my voice. Trying to recite these scriptures to these devils is going to go over their heads. They are in their kingdom. We are in our hell. Hell meaning what condition? Excuse me. Okay, so let's drop this. Now let's go to the book of Sirach. Like I said, a lot of these are, you know, fundamentals. It's always good to go over. So Sirach 12 and straight to the point. Give me 1 second. Let's go straight to the point. See, I want to start just a tad bit. We'll drop it. We'll go straight to the point. It says, Sirach 12:13, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? So you wasted your time trying to, a serpent, you know, represents what? Cunning, crafty. That will, you know, that will represent Esau, Edom. That's a very crafty devil. Okay, he very deceitful, right? So that's what a devil is, you know, deceitful. That's what they are by nature. Speaking about Esau, Edom, the lobster people. He said, who will pity a charmer as we've been, as I've been going into, a charm is what? Someone that's reciting the scriptures, that is bitten with a serpent or any such as come nigh wild beast. All right, because you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, shall I say? That's a term in the world. You got to know when throw that fishing rod out there, as far as saying, okay, I could deal with this particular person or not. That's why I said that cast not that pearl before swine. Okay, because a lot of our people are wild as well. A lot of our people have become just like the devil. But first and foremost, say, who will pity a charm that is bitten with a serpent? Why? Because Esau Edom is crooked by nature. He's not going to do right. He's going to play that game with. He's going to play that game with you like he's cool with you, but then he's setting you up for a great trap. He's looking to overthrow you. All right, so let's grab one more, and that'll be pretty much it. See if I can find it. Ecclesiastes 1:15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight. Once again, as I've been saying, they are programmed to be wicked. They are programmed to go astray. They are estranged from the womb. This is the Most High's show. This is the Most High's movie. Esau Edom is fulfilling his role in the movie as being the evil twin. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. All right. So so that's pretty much sums it up right there. So like I said, this was fundamentals, Hebrews 1:1. Just going to, there's no allegiance with the wicked, with the lobster people. Lobster, I've been saying this for years, but he's likened to what, a lobster, as far as him being red and being unclean. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I'm wrapping up with this video called Allah Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahushai. And shalom to all the elect elders on the highway and hedges, right? That teach the truth and sincerity. Shalom to all you Akim as well, that make their body living sacrifice on the highways and hedges. Shalom to sincere believers as well, which consists of men and women. Shalom, Brakatham, and as always, above a ball. On to the next. I don't want to Ratazah. Shalom.